Hello everyone, and welcome to another video of Confronting Chaos, a series of partner videos to Chaos fight footage to outline the enemies and explain why characters are boosted. In this video, I'll be going over the Aphmau Lost Chapter Chaos fight, so let's get into it. This Chaos fight is divided into two waves. The first wave is against two Guardians, and the second wave is against one Shift Frame and two Death Machines. The Guardians have three battle programs they'll shift through, each one changing some of their attacks. In Kraken mode, they get two basic attacks with high turn rate. In Marlborough mode, they gain Tentacle Slap and the classic Bad Breath. In Ultima Weapon mode, they gain Flare and Meteor, their only group attack. No matter what mode they're in, they'll have access to a basic Brave attack and two forms of Laser which are both HP dumps. They're not difficult to deal with, but of course, being hit by Bad Breath always sucks. The unique boss for this fight is a Shift Frame type BW. What the BW stands for, I have no idea. It has no inherent resistances and is weak to thunder damage. It has two modes it'll shift between in the fight, Airborne and Grounded. No matter which mode it's in, it has 3 Brave attacks, 1 HP dump, and 1 HP attack with Brave hits. In the air, that move is a group attack, and on the ground, that move is single target. While on the ground, it can inflict a variety of debuffs, and its moves also have high turn rate, letting it act again sooner, as well as not being forcibly delayed. When it switches back to being airborne, it also does a few things. It'll either heal or resummon Death Machines, as well as grant the enemy party a large amount of buffs for 5 turns. To quickly go over the Death Machines, they're weak to thunder, water, and range attacks, like to shoot out lasers as an HP attack, and also like to use Mind Stop, which has the chance of paralyzing you. With the enemies covered, let's check out the featured units. Aphmau gets a rework and EX with her return. Her rework improves her extension abilities with more potency, hits, and overflow, which is always good. The way Aphmau's base kit works is she applies 2 frame buffs to herself, one offensive, one defensive, with her skills, and applies a framed regen buff to her allies. While buffed, she can apply equivalent buffs that she has on herself to her teammates via her enhanced basic attacks. Not only that, but her enhanced basic attacks extend the buffs she applies on herself, giving her great longevity. Her EX cast has a fast recast speed, so it'll come up very often, and on her next turn, she gets 2 free actions as well as changing her basic attacks into both being HP dumps that reapply party buffs and extend all of Aphmau's own buffs, making her very turn efficient. She also gets another frame buff with her base EX. As you can see, her EX as a whole does a lot for her, with her EX plus limit breaks giving her more offensive power. Realization improves the EX cast while 1 ingot is a stat boost. 2 ingots is very helpful as it gives her starting buffs and a full recast gauge at the start of the fight, letting her start getting in free turns and party buffs on her next turn. 3 ingots further improves her puppet variant HP attacks, with HP 2 managing letting her heal, which was something she was lacking in her base kit. Lion also receives EX Plus on this banner. Sadly, she did not receive a rework, and it should be noted that she is a cursed artifact character, making it naturally harder to build her to her maximum strength. Both her skills have decent hit counts and have boosted damage when hitting enemies not targeting Lion, with her S1 having overflow and her S2 having splash damage. After using her S1, both skills are enhanced to hide versions for 1 use, giving them extra potency and overflow, but both skills will go back to normal when one is used. Her EX is handy as it has a dispel and recovers 1 use of her S1, although since it doesn't come up that fast, it's probably not something to be long term relied on. Lastly, as long as Lion acts after an ally, her EX cast is enhanced to have an extra 4-hit HP dump after the initial attack, but it is magic and holy, so there are a few cases where it might not be helpful. Her EX Plus and its limit breaks further Lion's ability to do damage both with the EX cast and without it, but it is a hefty investment. Realization improves the EX cast, gives her access to an HP Plus attack, and increases the possible overflow on all of her attacks. 1 ingot is a stat increase and also debuffs enemies with action delay up on EX cast. Enemy speed debuffs aren't something you see very often. 2 ingots is starting buffs, and 3 ingots gives the laser sword portion of her EX a double cast effect, as well as further improving its damage in general. Prish was featured just the other month as part of the Arciela event, so this is probably the fastest return of a unit in recent memory. As mentioned then, Prish is mostly a selfish damage dealer with 3 elements in her kit. Her moves are better now thanks to the rework she got with the Arciela event, but overall she just doesn't bring a lot to the party, and if you didn't manage her EX beforehand, she can't even offer anything to the party besides damage in her base kit. As for the team I chose, here's the breakdown. I'd imagine Aphmau would be a good choice for her own Chaos fight, and thankfully she was. Her debuff immunity helps against both waves, and her battery and buffs in her base kit are pretty respectable with the boosted stats. Since her EX cast gives her 2 free actions once her next turn arrives, it greatly helped with turn efficiency and keeping turn count low while still buffing and doing damage, and as mentioned earlier, at 3 ingots she can heal with HP plus managing, meaning a secondary support isn't needed. She only has one option for group shave, but it's fine because that's not really her job in this lineup, and the other 2 handle it well enough. Ferris has a very useful dispel and debuff skill, but she also hits weakness on all enemies using her EX. Her Whirlpool special effect gives the whole party so much more longevity because of all the battery it provides, and my only issue with it is wanting to keep the effect active longer through deliberate break manipulation. It kind of has anti-synergy with Ida, since she can't break enemies nearly as often for free turns, but it's not the worst thing. She only has 2 buffs on herself, so she does not have issues with the frame buffs Aphmau provides. Ida serves to put out great single target damage, get free turns for more efficiency, which is useful due to turn count on this fight, and has some group shave and splash damage to whittle down the death machines. Her EX is up fairly often, and even when she's not using it, she's still doing really good damage thanks to her natural regen being boosted by Aphmau's auras and Ferris' battery from Whirlpool. She has 3 buffs for herself, which match up perfectly with Aphmau's 3 she provides and the none Ferris provides. With that, this chaos fight should be covered. If you want to see my footage of this fight, I'll link it in the corner and in the description below. If you liked what you saw and want to see future fights, subscribe so they show up as they're made. If you have any suggestions or thoughts, drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.